Hey everybody, welcome to Maine Wedding Buzz, and today our guest is Nora McCormack from SPFilms, and we're going to be talking about films at your wedding and why they're important. I've said this before, photography is great, but having that video and that film in front of you will bring back memories that'll just flood through. So let's get talking to Nora. Hi Nora, and welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first off, my name is Nora McCormack. I am the owner, operator, founder, jack of all trades for SPFilms. I started the company back in 2008. It was Softshell Productions, and I recently went through a rebrand and changed it over to SPFilms. I thought Softshell Productions, it's, you know, I was doing a lot more corporate work and some commercial stuff, and now I'm pretty much focusing solely on weddings and wedding films, wedding stories, and so I figured SPFilms. It sounds a little bit more wedding-ish, I guess, but it's a transition for me. My business is growing and evolving, and I wanted to grow and evolve the name of the company too. So.
And that's around about the time when we first met you in 2008,
yeah.
and we've had a great run, and so we've worked with Nora a lot. So I really love her films.
Oh, thanks.
Tell us a little bit about what sets you apart in the industry, in the wedding industry of filmmaking. I'm going to say, because it is almost you're creating a story through your lens of that day.
Exactly, and that's what I try to convey to potential couples that are approaching me, is I want to tell your story. It isn't necessarily a music video of your wedding day or just a straight out documentation of, all right, this happened here, here's your wedding. I take the time to get to know them as individuals. I meet with them several times throughout the planning process. We'll go out for beers or coffee, and I want to hear their story. I want to get to know them. I want to get to know their family, and that way that helps me really infuse who they are personally into their film. So I take that extra time to really get to know them, to build a relationship with them, because a wedding film, it's an investment, and it's not it's not always a cheap investment, and so if they're investing that type of money into me, I invest my time and my efforts and my being into them, essentially. I want them on their wedding day to be able to be comfortable around me. I'm not a stranger in the room with a camera during their most intimate moments. Tensions and emotions are already going to be high, and by adding a complete stranger to that mix, it's not going to translate well. It'll make them uneasy, and that translates into their film. If you put a camera on someone and they're uncomfortable, you can see that. And
so do you tend to be more invisible in the room, so it's not sort of like in your face with a microphone? It's you're in the backdrop. You're there without being there almost, which is great.
Almost, yep, and also by being able to get to know them, it's like they have a friend in the room too. It's like I'm part of the bridal party, so I'll engage with them. I'll be talking with them, and it isn't, they're not tense and they don't feel self-conscious because it's just Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're already at ease. They already know me. They already, know my
and
style.
I've said this before in different meetings and things. It's almost like you create a click effect. When you click with a client and it's the right client, then everything's fine.
Exactly.
They don't feel tense, or if you take care of them from start to finish, it's just Nora in the room, and so you've created that click effect. You clicked with them, and so everything's in Nora's hands. She'll do a great job. So that's good.
And my style isn't necessarily for every couple. There are those couples that are just so busy that they don't have the time to build those relationships beforehand. And with them, I'm not the right fit for them. So before I even introduce a contract, I like to get to either meet them over Skype or mostly in person. That way we can see if we're a good match for each other. And if we're not, that's no harm, no foul. I'll send them recommendations to someone that I think would be a better fit. But I'm not for everybody, but for those that I am, we have a balance.
So do you do a lot of meetings over Skype? Because that's the third interview that I've done, and people have said, "Oh, we do a lot of Skype interviews." And is that becoming a trend now?
Well, it is. A lot of the weddings that I do are destinations for the couples. They're either living in California, Florida, Georgia. They're coming from all over, so they don't necessarily have the time to visit Maine throughout the planning process. So I like to, at least kind of do a face-to-face meeting. It puts them at ease too. They know that I'm willing to invest my time into them and into their story and their vision. And,
excellent.
Yeah.
And how many of these video films or films, and I'm going to stop calling them videos because really you're to me more of a filmmaker when these things come out. Do you do a year?
This was my busiest summer. I had 21 weddings and 2 other events, as well as a couple of other corporate shoots that I did throughout the summer. But next year I am capping it at 15. So I'm halfway booked for next year.
Wow. Did you hear that? Book
Yeah,
her now.
Exactly. So I'm capping it at 15 because I want to be able to put more of myself into the films without feeling the pressure of reaching deadlines or being overbooked. I want to be able to also enjoy some personal time.
Nice.
Because I don't really have that right now because I also work at a TV station up at Sunday River Ski Resort. So my season there is October through May, but I'm booking weddings
in between all that.
Wow. And then I have all of the editing to do on top of that. So I'm taking on less work, less weddings, but with that I'm hoping to have a quicker turnaround and to just be able to enjoy the awesome area that I live in.
In 2008, when you went into this industry, what said in your mind, Nora, this is what I want to do? I mean.
Well, I started working in film at the TV station, Sunday River Ski Resort, Sunday River TV. It's an outside television affiliate station, and I've been involved with sports my whole life, and that was my passion. My passion was snowboarding, and being able to be creative while incorporating my passion for video and for winter sports. And because that was a seasonal job, I love film so much. I love telling stories. I love just being able to kind of be my own boss and to create. And the only way that I could do that in the off season was to really start doing weddings. And it was a scary transition because there are no do-overs with weddings.
True. That's what we say in the industry.
But it's that excitement too. It's that you know that there are no do-overs, so you have that one shot to get it right. And it's stressful, but it's a good stress, and it's exciting, and it's and to be able to create something that this family can enjoy for generations. It's really cool. It's really neat to know that your work is going to live on, and that
it's sort of like what you said when you get the butterflies in your stomach. It's not that you get nervous; it's you want it to go well. And so the minute you don't get those butterflies or that nervous feeling, you stop caring, and I tell that to people all the time. So that's a good feeling to have. How many, photographers bring in several shooters? Does that happen the same thing in your industry? How many team members do you bring to a job?
I bring on a second shooter, so there are 2 of us there on the day of.
Okay. So you call them shooters too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so that way, when I'm with, I'm with half of the couple, I can have my assistant with the other half, and also while I'm filming the formal photo shoot after the ceremony, then I can have my assistant covering cocktail hour and getting those detail shots of the reception area. So that way, essentially, I can be in 2 places at once.
Oh, nice.
I like to make sure that I try not to miss a single moment of the day. And with the amount of footage that I walk away from at the end of a wedding, you will feel like I have captured everything and then some.
Nice. And how long does it take from start to finish to deliver the finished product that you go, here it is, here's the day as I saw it, or as you wanted me to see it for you? How does that process?
Well, I have one option in my investment guide, is a 3 to 5 minute highlight reel delivered within 2 weeks of the wedding. So for those that
Teaser?
really,
Is that-
yeah, it's like a little teaser. But it'll include the vows, and I'll have audio from those key moments, and I'll incorporate some of the toasts into it as well. But for those for those people that really want something immediately, that's an excellent option for them, because otherwise, I mean, I walk away with hours and hours and hours of footage from each wedding. I go through every single piece, even if visually it doesn't look ideal enough for a film. I'm listening to that audio. I'm listening for that bridesmaid to say something moving during prep. So
that's all part of the editing process.
It's all part of the editing process.
Interesting.
So I'm just looking for those key moments that will help me tell their story. So with that, in my contract, I say within 6 months, but I'm at about a 2 to 3 month turnaround right now.
Okay.
So.
And how does one deliver it? Is it this part I don't understand. Is it a disc, or do you do it through the computer? Because now everything's done through the computer. Photographers give a flash drive, and here's your photos. How does that work? I mean,
I have stopped delivering DVDs.
Okay.
Because it's a dying technology, as well as Blu-ray. Blu-ray is very popular right now, but I mean, there's so much that can go wrong with the discs. They can get scratched. That technology will fizzle out. So I deliver a digital file. It's an MP4 file, and from there, I encourage my clients to save it to multiple drives. Save a copy in your safe deposit box. But that file can change and evolve with the technology. You can change the file extension on it. You can burn it to DVD. You can upload it online to your own Vimeo or YouTube account. And basically, you can do whatever you want with this file.
Once you release it, it's theirs.
Once I release it, it's theirs. They just can't, sell it for commercial purposes or anything like that. But it's theirs to duplicate and share and enjoy with as many people as they want.
And how long do you keep a file on hand? Like, say, if somebody doesn't follow your lead about putting one away or putting it in a safe deposit box, and they lose it, or something tragic happens and the house burns or something, can they get that disc back from you?
I have every single wedding I've ever shot still.
Wow.
I still have every file. I have a ton of hard drives that I'm saving these memories, because for me, I'm terrified of them losing their
you
files.
save it.
So
Wow.
I save it. I recently had a bride from 3 years ago ask me if she could get a digital copy because she had scratched her DVDs.
Oh, wow. So
I have all the files, and I was able to do that, and she ended up buying all of the raw footage with it too.
Oh,
So,
excellent, excellent.
I don't want them to, have to worry about losing those memories. So I save it all.
Cool. You're like me. I do the same thing. Do you travel, and how far are the locations, and how far do you travel?
I will travel wherever you want, wherever
Wow.
someone's willing to send me.
She's willing to go to Thailand. Keep that in mind.
You go to Thailand. Can someone get married in Thailand? I would love that.
That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
But I mean, I'm traveling all over New England. This season I had weddings in New York, in Connecticut, a few in Vermont, Boston. I'll travel wherever someone wants to send me. I'm actually I'm doing a secret elopement in Hawaii.
Wow.
At the end of November. It's just
Elopements have become popular.
Yeah, they're eloping at the end of November to Kauai, and it's just myself and the couple. So I'm doing.
So they put you up and all that stuff. Oh,
yep,
wow.
they're putting me up, and they're having a surprise reception in Oregon.
How wonderful!
And so basically, the family is going to have no idea. I think they're going to think that it's an engagement party, and then at that event, we're showing the elopement video, and surprise, you're at their wedding.
Nice. Oh, how incredible!
Yeah, so that should be really neat. But I mean, I'll travel anywhere, and I kind of want to travel. So
Oh, that's excellent. I would love that. Would you say that 90% of your business is wedding related and then corporate? Because I know we talked a little bit about that, and so you went transition from corporate to wedding, but now do you think 90% of it is wedding and then you have the corporate side of it?
I'd say about 99% is
Wow.
wedding. I've actually declined quite a few corporate events this year just because I'm so busy with weddings. I felt like it would be taking away from my current clients if I were to overbook myself. But throughout the wedding season, yeah, about 99% are weddings. I'll do a couple real estate things here and there, and I will help out with actually another thing that I love to do is called a VNR. It's like video newsreel, where I'll help out at an event. I'll shoot an event for news.
And here's a great video that just popped up too. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to at least pop this up because I know we were talking about some of your presentations. I think this shows really some great footage of just dancing and the events and the ceremony and all of it there. And a lot of this is going to be on so that you can see it. So I love these moments that are captured here, coming down the aisle and just that moment that you just see the groom or the bride are just incredible.
And that's what I look for. I really try to find those small interactions that get overlooked throughout the day, like
things that you can't see from the front. Now you're seeing, or things that as the bride and the groom you don't necessarily see because they're happening to you. And so here you are seeing them, and you're seeing the reaction on people's faces when you come into the room and your first dance, and people just looking at you. And so it's a great way to do it. So, and that's a teaser. So that's pretty good.
That was actually, she had that about 2 days after the wedding. I put that up online for her.
Wow.
So I try to put out something super quick right after the wedding, whether it's just a 1 minute piece like that or Instagram. I've been doing a lot with Instagram.
Which is interesting. I'll jump to that question because do you do the YouTube, the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? Has that helped your business grow?
Yep, I'm only on Facebook and Instagram, but actually I recently posted a wedding that I had done down at the Crane Estate in Ipswich, Massachusetts, and I just posted a quick 15-second Instagram clip. I had 12 emails the next day from couples contacting me. So it's been huge for me. I had no idea that it would lead to even a single inquiry, but it's been great. People love it, especially if they have a hashtag for their wedding, to be able to have that up. I try to get that up within 1 to 2 days after the wedding for them.
And that's become a new trend too, where everything's being hashtagged. So if you're at the wedding and you set up a hashtag account, which right now I believe that you can do one and it's free, and all your guests are asked to hashtag whatever photos they take, and they immediately go on to your hashtag site, which is really cool. So we just did a wedding this past weekend, and that was all the same thing. Hashtag everything to this address, and boom, all the photos showed up there.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a great way for them to share, and it's a great way to. I mean, for me, it's been a great way to get my name out there to other guests at the wedding who have seen. Like, oh my gosh, she created this so quickly. I have a friend who's getting married in a couple months. I'd love to
see more and hire you.
Yeah, so it's great for the couples, and it's business-wise, it's been one of the best decisions I've made.
Tell us about some of the venues you work with, and you work with several in the state of Maine. So
yeah, Sunday River Ski Resort. I would love to shoot more up there because I live there. It would be nice to have a 2-minute drive home. But there are several venues up there. There's the Skiesta House, the Maine Mountain House up that way. And then the resort itself, they do a fantastic job. But Blue Elephant, you guys put out some
Thank you. Thanks for the
amazing
shout out.
I mean, like the Masonic Temple, it's gorgeous. There are so many small places around Maine that you.
And there's more. There are more wedding venues appearing in the state of Maine than when we first started. We moved up here in 2007, and all of a sudden by 2015. There's going to be 14 new venues in the state of Maine, believe it or not, and so we're really catching up to all the other locations, and and so there'll be new sites.
You've got some just beautiful spots that you guys have acquired, and it's I'm looking forward to working with you next year.
And more, yep. How does a client find you, aside from, Facebook and all of that stuff, and, do you have a website?
Yep, my website is sp-films.com. It's from there you can get my contact information, you can see examples of my work. I have a blog that I try to blog about every wedding that I do. And from there you can learn a little bit about me. I have some fun facts about
Nice.
Nora McCormack.
Nice, I
but
like that.
it's usually the website, or even just giving me a call. My cell phone I always have attached to my hip, so I try to make myself as available as I can. I mean, last night I had someone email me at 11 o'clock, I had to reply to them by 11:05.
Wow.
No, I won't do that all the time, because I like to sleep and I like to.
It's a good way because it sets you apart. I mean, we do the same thing. We try to answer within 24 to 48 hours. We do 3 follow-ups, and then after that, I mean, it really should be your job to call back. I mean, follow-ups and 3 phone calls that you don't want to pressure people. So that's pretty good. We do about the same thing. How many vendor lists are you on, and venue lists? I mean, because that's sort of the same kind of thing. I know you're on ours, on all of our vendor pages and stuff like that. So do you reach out to other venues and vendors to put you on as well?
I have no idea how many I'm on. I know I'm on Sunday Rivers,
Okay.
just because the location, and I know that area like the back of my hand. So I know all the little great photo ops like the covered bridge and whatnot. But I'm not really sure. I want to explore as many different venues as I possibly can. I shoot a lot at the Nonantum in Kennebunkport.
With Tim?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And I'm at the Colony quite a bit, and so the big wedding venues like the Landing, I'm there every now and again as well. But I do a lot of private events too.
Private homes.
Yeah, private homes, backyards, tented areas. The Audubon in Falmouth too is a
beautiful place.
Beautiful location.
Love that location.
The wedding I had there in June was it was unbelievable. There was no tent. It was open air. They had those little twinkle lights.
The bistro lights. Oh, nice.
Bistro lights. And
was that the one with the glass tables? Did they have?
Yep,
Yeah.
it was the glass tables, and the Time Pilots were the band at that one, and it was just unbelievable. It was romantic.
We rented some furniture to them. We didn't do the wedding, but we worked with the wedding planner, and the antique couches were from our collection and stuff.
It was just so beautiful, and so I'm down at homes, the good old country backyard weddings, as well as up at the Crane Estate down in Ipswich.
Now here's a question that's interesting to me. When you set a film to music, with all this talk of licensing fees, how do you approach that, and how does the bride and groom, if they have a special song that they want in their video or film, what do you have to do to get that song in their video that's legal?
Unfortunately, like if it's a very popular song, a lot of the times it's not available for really affordable licensing. It would be thousands upon thousands of dollars to get that particular song. But there are options for licensing. There's a website, it's called Song Freedom, where there are some local or some top 40 artists that are willing to put their music out there. There are a couple classics like Etta James and Van Morrison. So you can license some popular songs, but a lot of them, it's just astronomical in the costs associated with that. So I use a couple different websites to license my music. And even though the artists aren't well known, they put out just beautiful pieces. And I like to use more instrumental music because I want the natural audio from the day to come through, because that's how you tell your story, is in those sound bites from the vows, from something funny that the bridesmaid said during prep and toasts. And I want that to really shine through, and that tells a story far more than song lyrics can.
Oh, nice.
So I use a lot more instrumentals, but if they have that one song that they really love, actually my last bride of the season, she wanted Plain White Tees 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wow.
And I can license that song. That one is
nice.
Is on the list. So so she'll get that, and so there are just many options, and it's it's becoming, something that you really have to do to.
I'm a Bonnie Tyler fan, so Total Eclipse of the Heart would be mine. So is that on there? So as long as that's on there.
I hope so.
That's me, like you said earlier, nerding out a little bit. So, what are some of the strangest things that you've have filmed, or somebody wanted you to film without, getting in trouble or anything like that?
A recent wedding, the bridal party they were so stressed out and uptight that one of the groomsmen, to loosen them up a bit, was mooning them behind the cameras, and
That's funny.
it was definitely loosening them up. But I didn't film it. I kept that one off. But that was pretty funny. I would pretend that I would, just to get a reaction out of him. But
Nice.
But there's so many just funny little antics that happen throughout the day that a lot of them I can't really mention here.
Now, do you do one shoot a day, or do you take on 2 clients and then 2 other team members go do another one, or when they book Nora, it's Nora and that's it?
They book Nora and I'm there. I don't send out a team. When you hire me, you get me.
Okay.
And for me, I guess I'm kind of a control freak. I need to know.
Sometimes it's nice having the owner there, because the owner sees it in a way that you're going to say, I want this to be perfect. Like, no do-overs, you said it earlier.
Yep,
So.
and when I'm shooting, I'm already thinking about the edit. I'm taking notes throughout the day too. If, during a toast, someone says something that's really moving, I will actually write that down. I'll write down, groomsmen toast. And that way, that's
Some little cliff note that you'll remember.
Exactly.
Nice.
So throughout the day, there are moments that I'm writing down, like this has to be in it, and I'm already thinking about how the edit is coming together. And if I sent a team out, I wouldn't have that type of control. So so they hire me, they get me.
How do you see 2015 shaping up?
Great, actually,
You're almost there.
I'm almost there.
That's excellent.
It's wild. When I started off doing this, I thought it was just going to be something to, keep me a little bit busy during the off season when Sunday River wasn't open, and now it's just evolved into this very well could be my full-time thing, and
Nice.
it's
I'm happy
new
for you.
and it's scary and it's so exciting, and it's been awesome, and 2015 is shaping up really well.
So do you see yourself like January, February, March working on 2016 like other vendors that book a year in advance?
Yeah, I have had a couple of inquiries for 2016. So it's never too early to start looking,
And then one of my last questions, and then we're going to see a video, is what new things do you see for the industry, which takes us into this new trend that people are doing, which
aerial cinematography.
So, which is right here.
So cool.
And so, tell us a little bit about that.
It's what we use is we use a quadcopter, and I just want to be able to give the client a different perspective of their venue. I just want them to be able to get a bigger grasp on the area and the beauty of it all, and
that's one large location. So
it was a large location. It took place on her parents' farm, and but it adds a different element to
that's
it.
cute.
Oh, they were so adorable. This wedding was just
And
awesome.
apparently everybody's been married on the property, so,
Yeah.
which is wonderful. That's a...
Yeah, the father in his toast right now, he's saying that this is the 6th generation of family that's in this town. And
Wow.
it's, family was very important to them, and their relationship with their family and their relationship with God was very important to them. So I made sure to focus on that during their film, and the industry is constantly evolving, and there's just so much that I don't even know about yet that'll probably be very popular next year. But right now, for me, the aerial cinematography it's really fun.
That's a great
new.
shot.
I love these guys. They were awesome.
And that shows more of the aerial, which is really good.
Yeah. So.
Which I am so grateful that you came in today and
thanks
met
for
with
having
us.
me.
And as always, I tell everybody, reach out to these folks. They come in, they do wonderful work. I'm making sure that we bring on top-notch people and people that are in the industry that are willing to give us the best out there for your wedding and to make your day as beautiful as possible. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you.
So they'll lower our mics.
Their extended family and friends. They want to renew that and celebrate.